Before the gods, before the earth, before light or time or the first breath of wind, there was nothing at all. Not darkness, for darkness had not yet been born. Not silence, for there was no ear that it could reach. Imagine a space with no walls and no floor, no sky above, no ground below, no up, no down, no here. This is where every story you have ever been told truly begins, in a place that was not yet a place. The Greeks had a single word for it, one ancient weighty word that has been misunderstood for very nearly 2,000 years. And you already know it. You reach for it when your life falls apart. You say everything has collapsed into chaos. But the Greeks did not mean disorder at all. Not confusion, not noise, not panic, not a world spinning helplessly out of control. Their word khaos meant something far stranger and far quieter. And if you let it, something far more beautiful than ruin. It meant a gap, a chasm, a vast and yawning emptiness, opening slowly and silently like an enormous mouth about to speak. From that very same ancient root, we draw our English word yawn, the slow, wide, and unhurried opening of an empty void. So forget the storms and the wreckage and the ruin. Picture instead a held breath, an open space, a long, patient waiting. This is the true beginning. Not a bang, not a battle, but a stillness heavy with all that is to come. Welcome to the Primordial Era, the age before Zeus, before Olympus, before the gods you think you know were so much as dreamed. And it begins, as all great and lasting things begin, with a single quiet line from a Greek poet 3,000 years gone. His name was Hesiod, a Greek farmer and singer, and this is what he wrote at the dawn of everything. First of all, chaos came to be. Just 4 plain and quiet words, and with them, existence itself begins at last to breathe. Notice that he does not say chaos was made. No hand shaped it. No craftsman carved it. No god spoke it into being. There was no maker yet to make. Chaos simply came to be, arriving out of nothing, owing nothing to anyone. This is the Greek imagination at its very boldest. The first thing ever to exist is emptiness itself, fully present and fully aware. Try to stand inside it. A boundless gap, neither hot nor cold, neither bright nor dark, neither near nor far. There is no time here, so there is no waiting. There is no place here, so there is no distance to cross. And yet it is not truly empty. It hums. It holds hidden somewhere within the seed of all that follows. Every titan, every hero, every monster, every god still to come. All of them already implied, somehow, in this single open space. Zeus is here. Athena is here. The Minotaur, the Sirens, the 3 gray fates, all of them asleep in potential. Chaos is the blank page before the myth is written, and the page is about to feel its first words. For out of that vast and patient emptiness, the first true beings of the cosmos begin slowly and surely, one by one, to stir. They are not born the way you and I are born. No mother, no father, no union, no cause behind them. They simply come to be, one after another, in solemn order, as if existence itself were slowly teaching itself how to exist. And the very first to rise from the gap bears a name that still means the ground beneath our feet. Where chaos was a question with no answer, she becomes the first reply, the first solid and certain yes. The Greeks called her Gaia. Gaia. We call her Earth. She rises up out of the void, broad, deep, and everlasting, the ever-sure foundation of all things. She is not a planet, not yet. She is the very idea of ground, of something solid enough to stand on. In all that boundlessness, she is the first here, the first place where a thing could ever truly be. Mountains will one day grow from her body. Seas will pool in her hollows. Forests will rise from her skin. She is the great mother that every later god, every Titan and Olympian will trace their blood back to patient, fertile, immovable. But Gaia does not rise alone. As she takes her shape above, something cold and vast stirs in answer far, far below her. For if there is now a solid ground above, then there must also be a depth that falls away endlessly beneath it. And that depth is not gentle. It does not cradle or nurture. It only descends and finds no floor. Beneath the new-made earth, a second darkness opens, colder, lower, and far older in its feeling than anything that has come yet. The Greeks named it Tartarus, a pit so deep a falling bronze anvil would drop 9 days before it struck. It is pure dread given a shape. The first abyss, the first place from which a soul might never return. One day the cruelest of the Titans will be chained screaming in its dark. But that war is ages away. For now, Tartarus simply yawns open beneath all of creation, silent, bottomless, lightless, and patient as a freshly dug grave. Already the void has begun to divide itself in two. There is now an above, and there is now also a below. Now there is height, and there is depth. There is a foundation above, and there is the dark abyss that mirrors it below. The universe is teaching itself its own shape, and it learns from the very first by way of opposites. And yet something is still missing from it all. Earth and abyss alone cannot stir themselves awake into a living, breathing world. They are matter, and place, and weight, and stillness, but nothing yet draws them together. Nothing in all the cosmos yet desires. And so the third great power comes to be, and of all the firstborn, the poet calls this one the fairest. Not a child with a bow, not Aphrodite's mischievous son. That Eros will not be born for many ages. This is something older and far greater. Eros, the primordial desire itself, woven into the fabric of things. He is the pull between the earth and the sky. He is the deep longing that makes the scattered want to come together. Where chaos was pure emptiness and Gaia was solid matter. Eros is the living force that makes matter reach out for matter. He is gravity itself, long before there was any gravity. He is attraction, long before there were bodies to be drawn together. Picture him as radiant golden light, the most beautiful of all the deathless ones, his great wings full of warmth. Wherever his golden light falls, things begin to lean and turn toward one another, and emptiness itself begins at long last to yearn. Without him, the cosmos would stay forever a heap of separate parts, cold, scattered, and alone. But with him, creation gains a will of its own. The universe no longer merely exists. Now, for the first time, it begins to want. This is the secret engine of every myth that follows. Every love, every war, every betrayal to come. Helen's face that launched the ships, Orpheus's grief, the jealousy of rival goddesses, all of it begins as this single golden spark. For desire is what sets stories in motion. And here at the dawn, desire has just been switched on. 3 powers now stand in the gap: the void, the ground, and the bright longing that binds them. And now, with desire alive and loose in the world, creation stops merely arriving out of nothing and begins instead to multiply. For the very first time, the firstborn powers will not simply appear from nothing. They will be born, truly born from one another. And it begins fittingly with chaos itself. From that first great and silent emptiness, 2 shadowed children at last come forth. Not light, not warmth, not color. The void gives birth, fittingly enough, to the deep and to the dark. The first is Erebus, the profound shadow, the gloom that pools in the lowest hollows of the world. He is darkness not as absence, but as presence, a thing you could feel pressing close against your skin. And beside him comes his sister, greater still and more terrible than her brother, black-robed Nyx, the night herself. Of all the primordial powers, Nyx will become one whom even mighty Zeus will not dare to cross. She is not evil. She is older than good and evil both. She is vast and calm and impossibly, fathomlessly deep. From her womb, in time, will pour a strange and shadowed brood, sleep and dreams and death. The fates are her daughters, old age and strife and doom, all the things that wait at the edge of the light. Night, it turns out, is the mother of nearly everything we fear in the long, dark hours before dawn. But all of that is still to come. For now, Erebus and Nyx simply fill the whole young cosmos with their spreading shade. Darkness drapes the new-made earth. The abyss below grows blacker still. The void wears its first true color. And here the story could have ended. A cosmos of nothing but shadow, depth, and endless night. A universe born dark, and seemingly content to stay dark, folding forever and ever into its own quiet, endless gloom. But remember, desire is loose in the world now, and where there is desire, opposites are drawn together. So night turns toward darkness. Erebus and Nyx, shadow and shadow, are pulled close by the warmth of Eros. And from that union of two darknesses, the most unexpected thing in all of creation is about to be born. And then, out of the very deepest black and possibly miraculously, against all hope and expectation, comes light. From Erebus and Nyx, from darkness joined willingly with darkness, two bright and shining children at last come into being. The first is Aether, the bright upper air, the pure and luminous light of the high heavens themselves. He is not the dim glow of a lamp. He is radiance, the clear, shining brilliance that fills the open sky. Where his sister Night had been deep and close, Aether is high and weightless, and impossibly clear. And with him comes Hemera, the day. Soft golden rose, the gentle daylight that warms the waking world. Think of it for a moment. Night and darkness, the two blackest powers in all the cosmos, give birth to the dawn. The Greeks are telling us something profound, that light is not the enemy of dark, but its own child, that every dawn is born of a night, that brightness comes always out of the deep that came before it. And now, for the very first time, the universe knows the turning of dark to light, and light to dark. Hemera rises, and it is day. She sets, and her mother Nyx draws her dark robe across the sky once more. The first rhythm has begun, the slow heartbeat of day and night that still measures our lives today. Look back now at how far the gap has come. From nothing, from a single yawning void, all of this. Earth and abyss, desire and darkness, night and her shadowed children, the bright air and the dawn. 6 generations of being, each one unfolded from the last, like a single long-held breath slowly and gently let go. And not one of them was ever commanded into being. No god decreed it, no king ordered it. Creation simply unfolded because it could. This is the Greek vision of how absolutely everything began. Not order imposed from above, but order quietly emerging, all on its own. From emptiness comes form. From darkness comes light, and from a single silent gap comes a whole and singing world. Everything still to come. The Titans, the Olympians, the heroes and their wars, all of it begins here. Every single myth you will ever hear is a ripple spreading endlessly outward from this first and quietest of all moments. So the next time your own world feels like it is falling apart into chaos, remember what that ancient word once truly meant. Not ruin, not collapse, not the end of things, but a gap, an opening, a space where something new is waiting to be born. Everything begins in the empty space. The Greeks knew it 3,000 years ago, and so now do you. Thank you for watching. If this tale stayed with you, subscribe. A new myth arrives every week, and you won't want to miss what comes next. Until then, may the old stories keep their hold on you.